Oh, shit. Hey. So I'm gonna talk about this. So, new thing, I got little tiny forehead dermal put back in my head today. So that was fun. So I'm gonna talk about this today. It's called Fish by Vape the Nostalgia, and this is one of my all-time favorite juices. Not to mention, this is a new mod that I picked up. It's called a VIA 240 with the Drop Dead RDTA right on top. So, first up, this vape juice. If you can't tell by the label, this tastes exactly like the Swedish fish candy. Now, I know not everybody really likes that candy. I'm a sucker for cherry flavors, and this is probably the best cherry flavored anything that I've ever found. Almost everything else tastes like cough syrup to me, or it's like really fake, and I don't particularly like it. But I tried this once. I picked it up at a vape convention last year, like in December, and ever since I tried it, this is one of the only candy flavors that I really, really loved. I mean, like, I will go out of my way to order this. I found this on like ejuice.com. I'll link it below. I can't remember the exact name of it, but they have a ton of stuff, and they actually delivered really fast. Not a commercial, I promise, but it's one of the few places that I haven't had an issue ordering juice from. I've tried ordering from Element Vape before, and they don't always send me the best juice. And then I tell them that the juice looks kind of old and tastes funky, and they tell me I could return it. So, anyway. So, this is the VIA 240. My favorite version was this one with the goat head on it. They actually have a few different prints on their mods. My friend actually got one. It was a biomechanical kind of style. It had like an eyeball and red skulls and stuff like that. If you've ever seen the vape company that has the Oni mask, it's the same people. Now, this thing I really love because when you click the front button, it's going to give you all this information here. So when you click it, it'll show you the 60 watt that I have it set on, the 0.2 ohms. It's got no voltage because it's not firing. It tells you the battery voltage that's left, battery indicator, and then it's got the normal hit setting right there, and then it's got the power setting, which means it's going to be showing in wattage. Now, this does do like stainless steel, titanium, I'm pretty sure it does nickel. And then you have the power mode, you have an eco mode, and then you have normal mode, which means it's going to hit really hard. You can actually set it to eco mode to save battery, and there's also I think it's a manual mode, but it can basically fire as if it does not have a chip in it, so you can treat it like a mech mod almost. So the fun part about this is you take this off, it's magnetized, and then all you have to do is pop this open, and that's it. Battery slides out. It's got little indicators right here. Negative goes here, positive goes here. It's got the same thing inside the actual tubes. So you just put this sucker together. Don't do it backwards. And then for some reason, the combination of this mod and the Drop Dead RDTA gives me a lot of clouds, and I can't really vape on it consistently because I will smoke up an entire room. But on to the Drop Dead RDTA. So I did get this guy in like a metallic purple color. I was tempted to get like a rainbow, but at the same time I feel like the purple goes with a lot more of my stuff, especially with the green. Now, the fun thing about this is it's got this tube in here. That's actually where your coils sit on the inside, and then the glass on the outside keeps the juice in. It does come apart down at the bottom. I'm not going to take it apart because it is full of juice. But if you can see that little slit right there, that's where the cotton goes. So there's a little section where you tuck the cotton in, and then you make sure it's up underneath and not sitting on the screw part. It has indents on the inside, like right up in here where that tube sits. You set it in there, and then you just twist it, and it completely closes. I have not had a single leak out of this RDTA, which is amazing to me, but at the same time. So you do have these airflow holes up here. So this guy, all you have to do is you twist it. You can close the airflow, you can open it wide open, and it does have a stopper here, so when you have it wide open, it's not going to keep twisting, it only goes one way. And you do get airflow on both sides for a dual coil. And then there's a little drop dead. Now this top cap actually came with it, or the mouthpiece came with it. So, and I think it's kind of nice because it actually matches really well. It's always got like this little white ring in whatever color that matches the tube, which I think is really nice. And then if you want to refill it, this top part up here, it's got a little knurled grip right there. So what you do is you just take this apart, pops open, and then it's got this really amazing deep well right there, and it's got these huge kidney shaped areas where you can just drop right in. I haven't had any juice issues like missing or anything like that because it's just going to go down the channel and go straight in. And then right there is where your airflow comes out, and that's where you vape. And this is a metal ring. It does have a an O-ring on the inside to help prevent any kind of leaking. If you turn it upside down, I could definitely see some of the juice dripping out, but the way that it's made, it only soaks into those little tiny ports on the side. So when the cotton gets dry, it just sucks it up from the bottom. Honestly, like, I have not had an RDTA that didn't leak. A long time ago, I did that video with my combo, my iJoy RDTA, and that thing, if it fell over, like, it just had a thing underneath the top cap and it would just leak out all over the place, like through the air holes, through next to the cotton, like, good luck. But this guy, like, I can check that out, like, nothing, that's it. Like, you might get a little bit of spit back. Generally I don't. I can say that it's a little bit tricky to re-wick. You have to, usually what I'll do is I use the Kogendo cotton pads that are just kind of like the double-ended stuff. I'll cut one strip off the long side and then just cut that in half, and it's almost always the perfect length. Just make sure it's thick enough to go through the coil so it's snug but not too tight. That way you're still getting wicking and it's not going to dry out in the middle. Cleaning, as far as this goes, it's really easy. Like, the coils and everything, when you take this apart, this whole top section comes off along with the glass, and that center console right there, that little tube, comes off with the top section, so it's just coils on the bottom. So if you need to clean it, you can just fire it right on your mod, dunk it in some water, and then that's it, you're done. I do have some twisted stainless steel coils in this, and honestly they've been doing pretty good. I haven't changed them probably in about a month, so I mean, I've washed them a couple of times and they still look pretty good. So, personal opinion, this is the setup for me. This is what I've been using for the last few months and it's been fantastic. So if you want to pick up a Dead Rabbit RDTA, I would highly recommend it. It's probably one of the best ones I've ever used. The VIA 240 is actually a fantastic mod. I do have VTC 5A batteries in this, so they don't carry as much battery capacity as others might, but always do, even in a regulated mod, I'm really careful to make sure that my voltage, my amperage, everything is like in a good zone. So that's why I'm vaping at 60 watts at a 0.2, but that's me. Like, when you're on a regulated mod, you can play with it a little bit, especially if you use mech mods. Just in general, make sure you know your Ohm's law and you're not overpowering your batteries with whatever build you have in it. So anyway, that was a review of one of my favorite juices and my new favorite mod. So, bye!